What's going on, crypto fam? Thank you for taking the time out to watch this video. Today we got some breaking news coming in about New York Yankees. We'll dive into that in a second. First, let me share my screen. Let's dive into a couple news topics for today. So Euro reaches parity with US dollar for the first time in 20 years. Why is that huge? It's huge because it shows you what the fiat system is doing and how it's collapsing on its face. So we'll go ahead and watch this video for a second, and then we'll move on to the next topic.
The dollar you have in your pocket is actually worth the same amount as €1 coin. And while this may all sound like good news for the dollar, some experts believe it could be a double-edged sword. Why? Well, some believe if the dollar becomes too strong, it could harm business for American companies who export goods abroad. And if sales of U.S. exports decrease, that could further slow down an already stalled U.S. economy. The euro, once thought to be the currency most likely to replace the dollar as the world's reserve currency, now for the first time in 2 decades, falling in value to near parity with it. The euro now sits at its weakest level since December of 2002, at a time when U.S. inflation is higher than it's been since November of 1981. The euro's fall driven by concerns that Europe's energy crisis will soon force the region into a recession. And while it may feel like your dollar isn't going as far as it used to, some experts believe the old buck is on the comeback, driven by the expectation that the Fed will soon hike interest rates aggressively later this month to fight inflation, increasing the dollar's value versus peer currencies like the euro.
I would say the energy crisis and the cutoff of supplies from Russia to Europe of natural gas has really accelerated the move lower in euro and was one of the reasons we thought euro parity would happen so quickly.
Now, some fear things could soon get worse for the euro, with Nord Stream 1, the single biggest pipeline carrying Russian gas to Germany, beginning annual maintenance this week. Gas flows on the pipeline are in the midst of a 10-day pause. Governments, markets, and companies now worried the shutdown might be extended due to the war in Ukraine. But as the euro sinks in Europe, the dollar is becoming more desirable. Good news for Americans traveling abroad, where everything from hotels to restaurants to shopping will feel much less expensive this summer compared to just a few months ago. In New York, for Newsmax, I'm Mike Carter.
So yeah, I like how they explain it like it's good for Americans, and the dollar being the same as the euro is good for Americans when you're traveling abroad. But what about Americans at home? How do you fix that? You fix it with Bitcoin. This is not financial advice. Do your own research. I hate to throw out the do your own research, but it's true. And the fiat system is failing us as we know it, and it's going to continue to fail us. So how do we know that and why? It's just look at the markets. Look at the cost of fuel. Look at the cost of living. Look at the cost of food. Look at the cost of everything that you buy as a consumer on a daily basis. Why are they collapsing the dollar? Well, my last video went over it, and that was for CBDCs that are rolling out. They want to collapse the dollar. They want to have chaos. They want to have everything go wrong in our debt-based fiat system because it's old, it's dying, it needs replacement. It's kind of like the Roman Empire. If you looked up what happened to the Romans, they printed too much money. They said they were backed by gold when they weren't, and it just turned into a corrupt system. They ended up killing their empire within. So with that being said, moving on to our next article, and that's Celsius bankruptcy filing shows long reach of FTX Sam Bankman-Fried. Harrow's is listed as the biggest creditor with 81 million claim. Lantern CEO Mac Alloy said she co-founded Alameda Research. So what this is bringing is more FUD in the market, right? More fear, uncertainty, and doubt. For those of you that don't hold your cryptos in your own possession, there's ways to do it where you don't have to worry about stuff like this to happen. And there's ways to do it where you need to worry if it happens. This is one of those ways to do it. If you're going to put your money in Celsius or any platform like that, or your cryptos, you need to make sure they're backed 100% in a certain way. And we can go over that way on a later day. Moving on to why all this failed. It all failed because of Three Arrows Capital. A lot of these companies were intermingled with Three Arrows Capital. It says Three Arrows Capital assets frozen by judge in New York as founders' whereabouts remain unknown. Well, of course they're unknown. It says basically the walls are closing in around one embattled crypto hedge fund as the legal system issues a ruling on behalf of its just jilted creditors. According to a new CNBC report, which I don't really trust CNBC, but all the other research that I've gone through does fall on Three Arrows Capital. Was it set up? Is it something that they did to bring down Celsius? Is it part of the Luna scam? These are all things that you need to do your own research on before you get into cryptos. You can't just get into cryptos and go, oh, I'm going to get rich overnight. Or this is one of those awesome investments where I have no idea what I'm doing, but because this YouTuber told me to get into it, I'm going to be rich. No. It's not how it works. This is a long-term HODL, dollar cost average your way in program, and stay away from companies like this. If you do get in, dip your toe in. Don't put your whole portfolio in one basket. I always say don't keep all your eggs in one basket. So all my clients, I tell them you want to be diversified, but not too diversified, because if you're new to the space, you're going to get lost in one platform or one area, and then you're going to forget that you have cryptos everywhere else. So if you kind of keep them together but not in one basket, and that means, so say I have an Exodus wallet, and this is my personal portfolio. So I have an Exodus wallet. I keep some of my cryptos in there. Then I keep some of my cryptos in another wallet. Then I have a cold storage wallet. Then I also have a cold storage, basically device where it's offline. It's not connected to anything until I turn it on. So it can't be corrupted. It can't be manipulated, and it's not anyone else's hand. I own my private keys. I own my seed phrases. Therefore, I own my cryptos. And I know you guys may or may not have heard this saying, but not your keys, not your coin. There's a lot of new followers to the channel. Thanks. I want to give a big shout out to Chopping with Fire. They're a podcast team. Two guys that are great at what they do. If you don't know who they are, just go ahead and check them out at choppingwithfire.com. I will release some of my work with them on Patreon, and you can check them out there. And then I'll release it to the public, a couple weeks after that. But moving on, it says, according to the new, I already read that part. The report says that while the whereabouts of Three Arrows Capital co-founder whatever, murdering his name, and Kyle Davies remain unknown, there is concern that they will attempt to strip away funds before the company begins the formal process of liquidating its assets. Judge Martin Glenn's written decision specifies that approved liquidation firm Teneo has sole authority to transfer, encumber, or otherwise dispose of any assets of the debtor located within territorial jurisdiction of the United States. So they're using all these type of events to put more regulations on cryptos, more regulations on blockchain, more regulations on Bitcoin. Why is that? Because they don't want the average Joe or Jane to understand there is a new system coming in, and there is a new system that they want to implement. How do they do that? It's not going to happen overnight, folks. You can't just go to sleep and wake up and go, oh, we have a new system. No, but you can go to sleep and wake up and go, I can't pull money out of my account. I can't get my funds. Well, why is that? Because the banks are shut down. Because there's this, there's that, there's turmoil, there's protests, there's whatever going on in the streets. And they don't want you to know that Bitcoin is your scapegoat. It is the lifeboat in order to get out of the old debt-based dying fiat system. So moving on to the next article, I always like to bring the FUD, the fear, the uncertainty, the doubt first, and then I bring you what's really going on in cryptos and how it's evolving and why it's a good place to store your wealth long term. And this is not financial advice once again, but I start off with the bad and I end with the good. So it says right here in this article, just wake up and cry. Voyager and Celsius bankruptcies have destroyed some crypto investors' confidence in centralized platforms. Well, you know what? The banking system has destroyed, the Fed system has destroyed my confidence in centralized platforms. That's why I'm fully into Bitcoin. That's why I love Bitcoin. That's why Bitcoin's not going anywhere, because they've already had a centralized platform and it failed miserably on its face. We're witnessing it failed, whether it was done on purpose, on accident, by design, whatever. It's failing us. You should not have to go to the pump and pay the prices we're paying today. You should not have to go buy meat and pay the prices we're having to pay today. I don't care who's at war. I don't care what's going on in the world. You know, America is supposed to be the greatest country ever. So if we are at war, we shouldn't feel it here. We should be able to not feel the stress and the pain, but they want us to. Why is that? And you got to watch my video before this, and you'll see why. They talk about it plain as day. Moving on, and now we're going to go into the good, and this is the topic of the video. So the New York Yankees starts paying employees in Bitcoin. Got to highlight it right here. The New York Yankees will leverage Bitcoin fintech NYDIG's platform to allow its employees to convert part of their salary into Bitcoin. That's huge, folks. If Bitcoin's going away, tell me this. So either they're going to rob their own people of their money, of their goals, of their lifestyle in plain day, or is Bitcoin and blockchain technology the future? Why would you be allowed to put some of your salary into Bitcoin? How does that help Bitcoin? How does that hurt Bitcoin? Leave comments down below. Without you guys leaving comments, I don't know what you guys want to see or watch, but this is stuff that I find that I think is huge. Adoption is huge. 1960 New York Yankees Commons. So this article goes into saying the New York Yankees MLB team has partnered with NYDIG to enable its employee to be paid in Bitcoin. NYDIG offers a benefit plan which will allow employees to choose any portion of their salary to be converted into Bitcoin with no transaction fees. The Yankees will become the first MLB team to pay its employees in Bitcoin. The New York Yankees announced a multi-year partnership with institutional Bitcoin services provider NYDIG to allow its employees to be paid in Bitcoin, according to a joint press release. Now, could this article be fake? Could it be real? I believe it's real because this is not the first time people can get paid in Bitcoin. If you use the Fold card, you can have your paycheck, if you work a regular 9 to 5, deposited into Fold app, which then you spend your fiat, your crappy dollar that's going to crap. As we just watched the video, it's now pegged the same as the euro, which hasn't happened in 20 years. And you can then use your Bitcoin, then use your fiat to start earning Bitcoin with your Fold app. So that's one way. This is another way. BitPay is another way. There's all kinds of ways to start living the crypto life and get out of the debt-based, dying fiat slave system currency. And they're showing you how and why. So moving on to the next topic. Not that I'm a person that believed in Robinhood or loved Robinhood, sure, a lot of people are on it. It brought a lot of attention to cryptos. But what they're doing now is something that every platform needs to be able to do if they want to survive in this space. Because as for me, as a living the crypto life person, I want to be able to move my cryptos. I don't want them stuck in one wallet. I don't want them stuck somewhere where I can't pull it off. I want to put them in my own possession. So it's like you going to buy silver or gold. Do you want to trust it in the hands of some strangers or some people that say they have a certain amount of protection for your assets? No, I want it in my own possession. I know I'm protecting it. I'm going to protect it. I'm going to protect it with my 45, my 9, my 30-06. I'm going to protect it with everything that I have. I don't need someone else to protect my assets. That's just me. But with Robinhood, it's enabling deposits and withdrawals of crypto assets, which is huge. Like Robinhood, hate Robinhood, whatever. It's about time that they realize people want to take their cryptos and put them into their own possession. Well, especially after going back to here. Let me go back. What does that say? Frozen by a judge. What does this say? Celsius bankrupt. And then it goes on and on with Voyager. So these are reasons why Robinhood is doing the right thing, and it's about time. I'm not telling you to go out and get into Robinhood and all that unless you want to, unless you're already in it. But at least now you can pull your cryptos off Robinhood. So that's pretty much it, guys. I just want to go over the markets today for everything that's happened with the CPI coming out and the inflation being what it is in America. Bitcoin's holding its own. It's still at 20,000. So if you bought in 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, whatever, you're still up a shit ton. You're still, Bitcoin rich. You're still in the game. And if not, now's the time to buy because it's only going to go up from here. Yeah, it might go down. Say it goes down to 8,000. So what? You hold it for another 5 years, and then it's going to go up after that. You hold it for another 2 years. Remember, everything's in cycles. Life is a cycle. Cryptos is a cycle. Real estate's a cycle. Everything's a cycle. Once you understand those cycles, all this doesn't matter. And then once they come out with their CBDCs, you're going to wish you were in Bitcoin and you had possession of your own keys. So we got Divi, one of my favorite projects. This is a steal right here. It's under 2 cents. Let me refresh this page just in case. It's gone up a little bit. So the time of the recording, go back up here. Coins to watch. So these are some of the coins that I watch. So Divi's at 2 cents. You know what I mean? You can get a silver node for a little over $6,000 depending on fees and where you buy it at. You need help buying it, click the links down below. Reach out to me. I will help you buy it. I will help teach you how to buy it. This token right here, this is at a super steal. When I was promoting this, when I first started my channel, it was almost, I want to say $2. Don't quote me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but I know it was over $1. So, and they pay you for using their browser. A lot of people don't like their browser. A lot of people do like their browser. I use the browser because it pays you in the BAT token. When the token goes up, you move your crypto out of that browser token, out of the BAT token, and you put it into one of the projects that you love. So me, I'd move mine into Dogecoin because I knew what was coming. As soon as Elon started talking about it, it went up. I made $6,000 off of, I think it was $60, just because I moved free tokens that was given to me at the right time, and then took that and hodled it into Bitcoin. So it's all about how you work it. Just because we're in a down cycle or a bad cycle doesn't mean you can't make money off cryptos. Doesn't mean you can't live off cryptos. If you need help learning how to live off cryptos, reach out to me. Another one that I like is Algorand. This is a great project. They're always doing good things. Cosmos is another one. Stellar is another one. I'm not telling you guys to invest in any of these, but these are the ones that I look at. So if I go down my list, it's Bitcoin, look at BNB because you have to use them for a lot of bridges, especially if you deal with if you deal with the BNB token, which is their own chain, the Binance chain. In order to get certain cryptos, you may have to buy BNB to get the crypto that you want. XRP, I keep them on the list because there's a lot of XRP haters, but there's also a lot of talk, and their community is huge about where XRP is going. They just, I think, won with their lawsuit against the SEC. So I keep XRP on my watch list. I keep a holding of some XRP. Polygon does huge things. We just found out today or yesterday that they're partnering with Disney. If you don't like Disney, too bad. They're partnering, so that means that coin's going to go up. Do you have to use Polygon forever? No. If you don't like the way that project's going, make what you need to make off of it and put it into Bitcoin. Put it into XRP. Put it into FTX, Chronos, Crow. Put it into whatever project you like. So these are all weapons in your arsenal. These are all tools in your tool bag. If you're from a construction lifestyle like me, use them as such. Don't let your emotions get attached or undetached from each token. Persistence is another one that I've been watching for a while. Reef, that's a decent project, and I believe they're going to go places. I bought it on its high, and I'm just hodling it. It's just sitting there hodling. So I don't got to pay taxes or anything. I bought it when it's high. Now it's low. I can claim it as a loss, but I'm just gonna hodl it and see what happens. I didn't back the whole truck up to it. I just put a little into it and see what happens. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you got something out of this video. Wanted to keep it short tonight. Smash the likes, share with your friends and family, leave comments down in the comment section below. I will be bringing out more content as I find it. With that being said, hope everybody has a blessed day and take care.